kick us off so I can officially record it. Hey everyone, welcome to a training about the Go app with our Director of Business Development. Is that the correct title? I think,
Sure
Blake.
is. Yeah, good job.
So Blake is actually over. If you have been a part of Pivotal the whole time that we've been doing Pivotal, he launched it from the beginning. So many of the programs and systems that we have had over the last couple of years, Blake has been instrumental in bringing kind of to the front of, like, we've been asking for this for probably close to a decade for so many of these things, and he's actually making it happen. And then you've gotten to watch Pivotal go from being its own kind of website and kind of figuring out how does it work with our customers. And now y'all are getting to see it being inside of an app. The app itself is incredible. And I know that there are future plans on continuing to develop that. So I'm going to let Blake explain kind of what he does, what the purpose of the app is, and how this actually will help you grow your business. And he has welcomed questions. So if you have questions, if you'll drop them in the chat, if he doesn't get to it for whatever reason, I'll make sure that we circle back around and we get you those answers at some point. But I'm really excited to find out how to use this Plexus Go app to actually grow our businesses and how we can use it on a daily basis. So Blake, take it away.
Awesome, Andrea. Thank you. And it is good to see all of you. Thanks for jumping on and taking the time to talk all things Plexus Go with us today. I truly appreciate it. This has been something that Plexus has been working on for quite a while. When it comes to technology in this industry, it's something that can help us drastically, but then there's always little pain points with technology. And over the years at Plexus, we have dabbled in different types of mobile apps, but I'm excited that Plexus Go is finally what we would consider your one-stop shop when it comes to the day-to-day business and what you need with Plexus. As Andrea mentioned earlier, I am the Director of Business Development at Plexus. Fancy title, but what that really means is I oversee our incentives and promotions and our programs and tools. So when it comes to programs and tools, think of that bucket of things as kind of something where it is customer experience, retention focused and aspects. The tools side of it would be what are business tools, right? When we talk about shareables and some of the things we're going to look at in Plexus Go, we really want to start to see the idea of business tools kind of separate themselves a little bit from just what we would consider a social shareable. And we'll kind of give some examples of that here coming soon. And then when it comes to incentives and promotions, obviously those are your guys' key drivers to having those conversations with new VIPs, new brand ambassadors, getting them to climb the ranks and hit new rank advancements as you start to grow that business and earn your way toward things like Leaders Retreat. So my team kind of sees a little bit of over all of that. And then we also are taking on a new project that you guys will be excited about here soon, which is going to be a VO update. So we have a lot of exciting things happening to the virtual office that you guys will start to see roll out here pretty soon. So my team is very busy, but we are excited to start to deliver what we think are true game changers to your guys' day-to-day business and how you have these conversations and share Plexus with people every day. So I am going to share my screen. There's only a couple of slides, as I mentioned earlier. This is probably going to feel like a refresher if any of you were at convention or if you have downloaded Plexus Go already and have been dabbling in it over the last week and a half. But I really wanted to just share and kind of focus on some key features that are live in the app today and how and why you should be leveraging these features when it comes to talking to new VIPs, getting communication and material to your current team members, and really just focusing on what you need and when you need it. We really, when it comes to success in this industry, being hyper-focused is very important, especially when we know we're all busy. You guys have busy lives. You're building this business in the pockets of your time. And we want to make sure that we are taking advantage of what those pockets of time are and that we're being as efficient as we possibly can. And the art of this business sometimes is speed. So when it comes to things like that, or taking care of a customer or someone who needs product information, or maybe it's a new VIP who has expressed interest in Plexus, but they're still kind of unsure. It's nice to know that you have a tool now where you can get that exact piece of information to help validate what they're looking for and start to understand that, hey, Plexus is the place for me. So again, Plexus Go really is, we're barely scratching the surface of what this app can do right now, but I did want to share my screen really quick and go over a couple of those key features. So as Andrea said, once I share my screen, obviously it's kind of hard for me to see the chat. It's a small group of us, so don't hesitate at any time to just unmute your line, or Andrea, if you want to flag a question, feel free to, and I can certainly stop and address that. Can you guys see what I'm sharing? Just the big giant Plexus Go logo. Perfect. I'm sharing the right screen, guys. We're off to a great start. All right. So Plexus Go, our brand new mobile app. One key thing that I really want us to focus on when we say like, what is Plexus Go? Why do we have it? To me, I've been at Plexus 2.5 years now. What Plexus Go really does give us as individuals is, to me, it makes it feel like, hey, this is my journey, right? It really feels personalized to me, instead of this idea of just logging into a My account or a website. This is everything that you need for your journey, your business in the palm of your hand. So when it comes to Plexus Go in general, again, it's your journey on the go. It's filled with exclusive training. We have push notification reminders, constant communications going out, and it's what you need when you need it. So what you're seeing here on your screen is that, obviously you guys are pretty familiar with this at this point, but this is your home screen, right? So the very first screen you see is going to have your name. It's going to have a welcome, your profiles up here, your notification. You can search the app for anything at any time. So when you see this little search icon up in the top, everything we've put in the app, it has keywords attached to it. So if you were to type hydrate into that, it's going to pull everything that populates with the term hydrate up for you. So if you can't remember where you saw it the last time, or you're just looking for something specific, you can quick jump to that and be able to search. What you'll notice here is we have these rotating banners that are going to update monthly. Right now, obviously, they're focused on our brand new products of hydrate, sleep, and a few other things, but you'll see these continue to update. And then as you scroll through the homepage, what you see here, anytime you see a block of information, so you have a title of something and then this box, this outlines what we call a program. Okay, so everything within these boxes are called programs, and then each individual box is what's called a task. So when you're looking up here at these two indicators up here, what this means here is this is the tasks that are available for you to complete. Some might say 0 because you've gone through and completed them all. Others might see like 30 or 40 tasks. It really depends on who the user is and what's available to them. And then what's next to it are the badges that you have unlocked. We have a ton of badges, and we're going to continue to add badges. A good example of what you'll see today is if you were to log in as a brand new VIP, you're going to get a badge that says something like welcome to Plexus Go. You're going to get badges for when you register for Pivotal. If you're someone who is a VIP that then upgrades to a brand ambassador, the app recognizes that you've upgraded to a brand ambassador and starts to display the business building information, such as training courses, the rank up roadmap. All of those types of things would then be displayed to the ambassador login. And then you'll also achieve additional badges like, hey, you've reached the rank of silver, you've reached the rank of gold. All of that is going to continue coming through, and we're going to continue to add what I would consider gamification. For those that were at Nashville, I don't know how many on the call were in Nashville, but if you were, you should have gotten a little Nashville badge for attending. So that was something fun that we did. For those who attended, actually got a little badge, just got a pair of boots on there, and it said you got this for attending one convention. So take a look if you haven't already, but that should be in there. And it just kind of gives a glimpse into some of the customization and the segmentation. Andrea's got it. There it is. And just some of the abilities we have to finally be able to get the right information to the right people at the right time, right? And we have a lot of features coming down the pipeline. So real quick, before I advance to the next screen, down in this bottom home navigation bar are the key pieces of information you guys are going to use on a day-to-day basis. Obviously, the homepage is what we're looking at today. Reports we'll go into here just in a second. This messages piece, I'm excited about this. You're going to start to see us use this in the next couple of weeks. What we're going to primarily use this for right now is what I would consider corporate to field communication. So think about the amount of Facebook groups we have, the amount of emails you guys get. It's a lot. One thing that we're going to try to start to absorb through with Plexus Go is something like the weekly recognition digest. And what's really cool about that messages section is it almost kind of feels like a news feed. The difference is we can dictate who sees what on the news feed. So if it's something that we just want Golds to see, or if it's something that we want all brand ambassadors to see, or just Jewels to see, we can do that. What I'm excited about the recognition digest is it will update automatically every week. So instead of saying like, I missed the email, I can't find it in my inbox, you'll have that information readily available to you. There's also a couple other things that we're looking at using that messages board for in the future. Library is going to be your digital library, which I'm really excited about. Finally, give me a hoorah in the chat if you're excited about not trying to search a website or a Facebook group or a text message from Andrea, like, where's the latest shareable? It is all here for you. So again, going to segmentation, the VIPs would see a different digital library than the brand ambassadors. The sole difference here, obviously things like a monthly toolkit, business building tools and recognition, that's tailored to a brand ambassador who is building the business and needs that type of information, where a VIP is going to mainly be focused on things like Pivotal, where they can find their weekly nutrition recipes, and they can look back at prior program information. Product education is going to be everything from shareables to meet the product sheets, the science information and videos. And then Yes for Success, obviously, is all of our compliance training and ways to share compliantly. So all of those are going to be in there for you guys. The monthly toolkit from a brand ambassador standpoint is really where I want you guys to focus. This folder is going to continue to update, sometimes weekly, but more than not, it'll be a monthly update. So as we roll out new incentives and promotions, new shareables, things like that, this is going to be your go-to place. So if you were to visit that right now in your app, you're going to see things like our new Hydrate and Triplex shareables, all of our sleep shareables, the latest incentives and promotions information when it comes to Triplex 10, our June 23 promotion code for those $10 off of new enrollments. All of that is in there. So that really should be your go-to spot when you're talking to somebody new, or, hey, I've got an offer for pre-existing customers that I want to communicate to the team. That should be your one-stop shop as the business builder. So again, we're going to continue to enhance how this is. To give you an idea, we have on the back end, I've got analytics to show me like, hey, who's downloading what's the most commonly shared type of image. So as we start to see user engagement and we get adoption with Plexus Go from the field, we'll really start to be able to fine tune what you get, when you get it, and why. And it's going to give us a lot of visibility to really what is making an impact in your guys' day-to-day business and what's not. So we're really excited to be able to have things like that. Any questions on these two things so far?
My one question would be, how long between the time y'all develop something to getting it on the app? Because like we've noticed, like sleep doesn't have, like we don't have a bunch of the sleep, what are those things? Information sheets, things like that. And if you search sleep, it doesn't come up. Like if I just type in sleep on there, it's not coming up. So I didn't know if there's like, well, there's some sleep shareables, but there's no like details. Like, you know, those people that like all the nitty gritty details.
Yeah.
Just curious, how long does it take between we've developed or we've created the document to actually getting it on the app? Is there sometimes a little bit of a lag there?
Not necessarily. It's a good question. So one main reason you're not seeing what you're looking for is because I'm asking the team to stop making them PDFs. And the reason I say that is because I have some PDFs in here. They're just not the most shareable, like friendly thing in the world, right? So a couple of these things do still pre-exist in places they've always existed, whether it be the website, the virtual office resource library, or Facebook groups. But when it comes to the app, I'm really trying to get everything to be some form of JPEG, something that's super easy to download, save, and then share. So that's probably why you're not seeing some of those things. But when it comes to sleep itself, obviously you see all the new shareables. And then if you go to the sleep folder within your monthly toolkit, you will see the sleep gummy meet the product sheet. But this one is still a PDF. This is something I'm asking them to switch to a JPEG.
Love it. Thank you. Yeah. And if y'all have any questions, drop them in the chat or just unmute and Blake can answer it right there. But are y'all seeing that this is easy to share, that you download it? Correct me if I'm wrong, Blake, but you download it to your phone and then you share it from there, or do you share it directly from the app into Facebook or Instagram?
You can do either.
Okay.
Right now, what we're trying to, you'll probably get a notification from your app store this week. We're going to push an update to the app. We encountered, it wasn't even a bug. At the end of the day, a lot of the videos we put in here, the file sizes were too big. So we were experiencing some issues with downloading them to your phone. So what we did in the meantime is, if you look at a video or some of these shareables, you'll see an option to download or share. If you share, you're basically just sharing the image directly versus saving it to your phone and then texting somebody. You can share that directly to social. You can send it through Facebook message or text message, however you see fit. But we will be pushing an update here soon to where you can physically download things like the Diamond documentaries or product education videos or Wellness Wednesday videos with BB. You'll be able to download those to your phone and then save them or post them to a team group, whatever you'd like to use that for. That feature will be available. But so far, the most common thing we've been seeing people do is just share it directly.
I love that. And those videos, I love those Wellness Wednesday videos that BB's been doing. Like, those have been massive. So if y'all haven't had a chance to even learn for yourself some of these, I think these would be a great thing to just personally train so that you can continue to speak on all of that. And yeah, Diamond Docs, I think, are they in there at all, Blake, or they're not in there yet?
Yeah, they're in there. So again, this is where, when we go to, I don't want to say go to, but obviously we're a week and a half post-launch. Any feedback, whether it's navigation, hey, are we open to putting this into a different folder? Send it our way. Those types of changes are super easy for us to do. So even to your previous question, like of lag time, there's zero lag time, meaning the minute I get a document from the creative team, if we upload it and push publish, you'll see it instantly. It's not like you have to log out and then log back in. That kind of stuff is quick. When it comes to where the Diamond Docs are today, if you go into tools for business and then sharing resources, you'll see a folder labeled Diamond Documentaries. And those are all in there by the individual Diamond Doc itself. Right now, again, until we push that release, the best thing to do is just share it directly. Because once we push the release, you will be able to actually select download and save it to your phone.
I love that. And someone asked, is there a way to actually kind of label them? And so maybe in the future, being able to do like a search, it'd be like teacher, you can search within Diamond Docs for all the teachers. You can search within Diamond Docs for different kind of keywords. That may be a good thing down the road, is to figure out how to even like make it more narrow.
Yeah. And what we'll probably end up doing is, like, once you click within Diamond Docs, we'll probably create folders that recognize those categories, if that makes sense. Because the keyword's nice, but what happens is they all end up having overlapping keywords, so that when you search it, you're basically continuing to see the same videos pop up. To whereas if we like segmented them by teacher or, mom and other things, we could filter those out pretty good. All right. I think this next one, let me see here. So Pivotal, right? We launched Pivotal over a year ago. We've had tremendous success with Pivotal. If you guys are business builders, which you all should be, I'm telling you, with Pivotal and Plexus Go, this is your retention tool. Even though Pivotal has been web-based for over a year, the retention numbers that we've seen through Pivotal and the engagement we've seen through that has been through the roof. To give you guys a little bit of an example, since we've launched, I have tracked new VIPs that have joined Pivotal within their first 30 days with Plexus, and then compared that cohort to VIPs that do not join Pivotal within their first 30 days. And the group that does join Pivotal right away averages 3.5 orders with us. And that's over the course of their first 3 months, right? And they're spending 57% more than the group that does not. So when you start to think about a business opportunity and this idea of retention and consistent monthly orders and people who are having success on the products, that is the go-to route there. We have a lot of exciting features coming out with Pivotal soon. You should expect to see later this year or around Super Saturday, the ability to choose your Pivotal journey. So imagine being able to sign up and say, hey, my goals are weight management, or my goal is gut health, or my goal is active lifestyle, and then be able to see a program populated for you to meet your goals. So right now it is kind of like, here's the recipes and movement, use it as you see fit. We're starting to get it to where you can finally say, I want to do this version of the program. So that type of customization is coming here relatively shortly. And then the other piece we're excited about is the reports section. What this is basically your My Account and a glance at your virtual office, all within Plexus Go. So instead of having to log into your virtual office, you can now get a glance at it here, meaning you can see your next scheduled subscription order. Now, again, if you have multiple subs in a month, what the app is going to do is pull the one that's going to fire next. So it could be one that goes tomorrow, or it could be one that goes a month from now. It's going to show you the order amount and the PV amount and the date it's supposed to ship. Then there's a little call to action button there that if you need to manage that subscription, you can. It'll just redirect you to log into your My Account to do that. The business portion is going to be showing you really, like when you log into your virtual office today and you have all those tiles that you see, what we did was we took those data points and populated them here so you can see where you stand. As you're planning for the month end, we know today's the 28th, you've got goals you're trying to reach, being able to look at what are my total points for the month, what's my current rank, am I commission qualified, how many new VIPs have I had join the business this month, how many brand ambassadors have joined. That really just kind of gives you a good idea of, okay, if my goal is, gold by the end of the month, what do I need to do to get there? And that gives you enough information to then say, okay, when I sit down to digest where I sit, what are my reports? I've got a good idea of how to build my strategy. What it doesn't have at the moment is you're not actually pulling reports in Plexus Go. Some of that's going to come with those virtual office enhancements that I had mentioned earlier. But right now, this is just consider it like business at a glance, right? Plexus Pivotal is what you guys know today, which is what week am I in, how much Pivotal PV have I purchased, and really what is my progress within the program. And then perk credits. I'm really excited about this. For those who've been at Plexus for a while, perk credits is a great loyalty program that we have. One thing I haven't really been a fan of and hadn't had a chance to tackle yet is the perk portal. Prime example would be, hey, I see my total balance, but there's not a whole lot of transparency of like where my credits come from, what I use on them last, how many more can I, get before they expire. Now Plexus Go shows you what your total balance is, what you're earning perks on, whether it's product or you're earning it through Pivotal. It shows you what you've used, how many perk credits you've used, and things like that. So we're continuing to kind of build and get a little bit more robust plan around what loyalty at Plexus is and what a loyalty rewards program is. So be on the lookout for some future enhancements to perks as well. So we're really excited to be able to have what I would consider must-have my account business related information just available as a quick glance within Plexus Go. Is there any questions on either of those? Perfect. I'm taking silence as a good thing, meaning we're killing it, Andrea. We're killing it. All right. So the next one, if you haven't already, go ahead and download Plexus Go. This is available in the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. And remember, when logging in, it is the same login information you use to access your My Account or Virtual Office. So same email, same password. What's really cool about when you log in, what's actually happening, not to get like in the technical weeds, but what's really cool is when you log in using that information, that's how Plexus Go knows what to display to you and why. Meaning I log in, it confirms that I'm a US VIP or I'm a US brand ambassador. If I'm a US brand ambassador, and then recognizes my rank. So if I am a gold, what will show by default in the roadmap would be gold and then senior gold. And the whole intent there is because gold's my current rank and I want to learn how to reach senior gold. So that if I rank to senior gold, then I'll see senior gold and the rank after that. And it'll continue to unlock. You'll earn badges as you grow through the compensation plan and build that business. I do see a question here. How do people earn perks through Pivotal? That is a great question. So I believe it was like around October or so of last year, what we released was what we call Pivotal Perk Credit Rewards. Meaning when you go back to that retention number I was talking about of averaging 3.5 orders, it's a 12-week program, right? So think about it as like 3 months worth of content. The whole goal here is to reward consistent product behavior or use. So your subscription's already set to fire. You're registered for Pivotal. And with the current perks program, subscriptions over 100 PV are already earning perk credits. Well, if you register for Pivotal and you consistently use your products, we double those perk credits for you. Does that make sense? So it's a reward for basically living the lifestyle that you signed up to do and sticking with it and being consistent. And then what will happen is if you do all 3 subscriptions and you hit the 400 PV goal of Pivotal throughout your 12 weeks, we give you an additional 200 at the end. So it's a great way for new VIPs to really dive into their products, have success, jump into a community who is just validating that, hey, these products work. We do a lot of great content from Jillian and Felicia, whether it's live workouts, new recipes, snack ideas with the kids, how to really keep this lifestyle easy and on the go. And then when you do that and get rewarded, it's a great way for VIPs to start redeeming for free products right away, right? I mean, I know I'm a sucker when it comes to Starbucks stars. It's like I'm constantly chasing the expiration date. And then I hate myself for it because I'm like, did I really just spend $4 on coffee? But they get me every time. And to me, perk credits is that perfect example of, hey, you know what? I'm sticking to this lifestyle. I'm seeing results. And what better way to do that than to add a new product that I want to try for free on my next subscription? So Pivotal Perk Credit Rewards is a great way to do that.
I want to highlight something you talked about, Blake.
Okay. Yeah.
If y'all scroll down to that leadership roadmap, he was explaining this. If you're currently senior silver, then you can see senior silver, which is Kyle Rainey. And then you can also see gold, which looks like it's Jenna Hiddala. And then if you, let's say you're Ruby right now, you can see, I think it's Justin Goff, but you can also see senior Ruby, which is Robin Sullivan. So, and if you haven't yet, which obviously you can tell I haven't, because you can tell all the things I've done because they're blank now, which makes me feel like I'm getting all those like stars he was just talking about, but is going through and start at silver and like take notes and take action items and say, what do I need to learn from Amber in this like few minutes that Amber's talking to me? And then what do I need to learn from Kyle, and go all the way up as far as you can. Now, I did not realize that y'all couldn't see further because I was like, oh, someone needs to go in and listen to, you know, Robin talk about it. They're like, I can't see Robin. And I'm like, I did not realize until, because I can only see the diamond screen. So it's so helpful that Blake is here because he's telling y'all wherever you are, you can see your current training on the rank that you're at right now, but also the training for the rank you're aspiring to be at. And so I really want to encourage y'all. The great thing is you do not also have to train your team on all these things. You can send them in and go, hey, you just hit silver. You need to go in and listen to Amber talk, and you need to listen to Kyle. And that's letting other people, third-party validation here in the app, train your team for you. So if you feel like I don't have great training or I'm not there yet, or I'm not at the rank that that Kyle's talking about right now. How do I train them on going senior silver if I'm not even there yet? Corporate is allowing these top level, great, impress. I mean, I think we've heard every single one of these trainers from the stage, like, and they're all amazing at exactly what they're talking about. So do not sleep on this. Like, I just want to be really encouraging. And this, like, this leadership roadmap should be somewhere that you're like, I don't really know everything that Blake just threw a bunch of information at me. I now know I can go see my points, but this leadership roadmap, the shareables, and I would say making sure that you're like figuring out how you can plug into Pivotal. Those are the three things, like, real quick, that I would be like, check mark, check mark, check mark during your personal work time today. So I just wanted to highlight that roadmap is amazing.
Appreciate it. I appreciate that. And you guys, seriously, continue to, get well versed with it. If you have questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out. One thing I do want to stress is this is a great business building tool for you guys as brand ambassadors, but don't forget, this should be a part of that pitch and onboarding to every VIP. At the end of the day, building this business is not the easiest task at times, but I promise you, retention is where it's at. And we've got to focus on getting people product success and really wanting to adopt that Plexus lifestyle for the long haul. And I think when you look at how new VIPs can have access to something like this, a good example would be, I should have put some screenshots of the VIP content there, so I apologize, but here's a good example of how a VIP would be, in a sense, onboarded. Let's say Andrea enrolls me today. I joined with a Triplex welcome pack, and she says, hey, while your products are on the way, make sure you download Plexus Go. It's going to welcome me knowing that I'm within my first 30 days at Plexus, and it's going to prompt me to do the Let's Get Started program, right? The whole point of that program is to introduce me. There's a little welcome message from Gene. Genevieve's got a video coming out for that program here soon as well. And then it's all about, hey, what are your goals? So it's going to ask me what my goals are, whether that's gut health, or I want to lose a few pounds, I want to get better rest. I get to put all that into the app myself. It's going to ask me what system I joined with. So then I would prompt and say, hey, I joined with the Triplex system. It's going to ask me to register for Pivotal. And based on everything I just answered in that onboarding piece, once I complete it and I've received all those badges, Pivotal is unlocked. So I can start week 1. And the first task it has me do is learn how to use Triplex, because I stated that I joined with the Triplex system, right? And the whole purpose of getting them to download this while their products are on their way is that way when the products show up at the doorstep, they're not trying to learn it then. They've done the work. They're excited. They know it's on the way. They're checking that tracking number every day. They want to get started. And that's really the beauty of what we're trying to achieve with things like Plexus Go. And as brand ambassadors, if you scroll down to the bottom of that homepage, you'll see a program that's called VIP content. That allows you to see what your VIPs see. So if it's somebody new, again, Andrea is talking to me and she goes, hey, I really want you to download this app. Go through the onboarding piece and let me know what you set your goals as. It's a great conversation piece. It's a way to connect to who your new VIPs are. Angie, it's on when you're on the homepage, just logged into the app, just scroll down to the bottom and it should say VIP content. So what that is that is what a VIP is looking at, aside from Pivotal, because we weren't going to duplicate Pivotal for you guys because both account types see that. But what you're seeing there would be like the equivalent of how you guys see something like start your business, launch your business, right? This is how the VIP would start their Plexus journey. And if they upgraded their account at any time, they will then see what you see, which is start your business, launch your business, rank up roadmap, things like that. So again, that's a great way to just really remember that we're out there and we're working hard every day, and acquisition is not always easy, but we want to make sure that we're setting those people up for success to drive the best retention rates possible. One other question I wanted to address, which I saw, and forgive me, it just says iPad, so I don't know who iPad is. But it says my points are not correct on Go. If you can just shoot me a Facebook message, or even shoot me an email, blake.shaver@plexusworldwide.com. We'll take a look. Odds are you may have to log out and log back in because it manually will refresh it every time you log in. So if you haven't had to log back in, it may not have updated. So just give that a shot. If not, then just take a screenshot of your VO and then take a screenshot of the app for me and send it over to me, and I'll have the data guys look at it.
I was going to say, in case I know Blake has said this a couple of times, but VIPs see a different screen than brand ambassadors do. Mm-hmm. So one thing is that you can go all the way to the end of VIP content, and it says and more, see all, and you can kind of see it in more of a flow, like this up and down flow. And so you can and here's what I would do, y'all. If you send them a screenshot of this and be like, you should be able to see this, click screenshot. texting this to you. This is what you should see on your screen. Go listen to what our CEO Gene has to say, and you should be listening to it too, because then you want to have talking points of them. Like, did you hear where he talked about this? Like, isn't that amazing? And then you go in to set your goals, and you should watch this video so that you know what video they're watching on setting their goals, so that you can have this conversation with them. This is where you're going to get those questions. This is where you're going to have, this is where you are not talking too much, as I tend to do. Y'all aren't talking too much because you're letting this speak for you. And then all you're doing is asking them questions. But if you're not watching these, you don't know what questions to ask them. So I really like, this is great for you. If you're like, I don't know what to do, I'm brand new. Great. Start here with your brand new person and move through it just like this with your VIP. So that's a great tool. I mean, you can literally screenshot anything on here and send it to them and be like, hey, have you watched this yet? Isn't this incredible? Y'all, if y'all will thank Blake in the chat, we're about to get, we'll move over to Power Hour, which we're going to use a lot of this stuff. But any questions that you have, here's what's amazing. Our corporate office is always available for kind critique and communication on what they can do differently. And for them, they're not in the field. So they may say like, oh, I thought this was a great place to put this, or maybe putting perks on your home screen helps. If you can see your perks, like I can see my tasks and my badges, maybe seeing my perks right here. So I know, oh, I got to go in and get, use all of those. I've got perks sitting, whatever it is. If you have great ideas, everybody at corporate is first name dot last name at plexusworldwide.com. And I'm sure everybody director and above loves that y'all now know how to get a hold of them. But as long as you know how to spell their first and last name, you can contact anybody at corporate. And Blake's is really easy. So it's blake.shaver. And if you have feedback on this, things that you see in other apps that maybe he doesn't, see, and you're like, oh, this would be a great way to use this. And just remember that they're constantly building this and they're constantly wanting to make it better for us, but all of that does take time. So there may be some things that are already in the works that you think are a great idea, Blake thinks are a great idea, but they just have to be kind of timely launched, a little at a time. But I thank you, Blake, so much for walking us through that. I think even if we heard it at Nashville, we could probably hear it about 10 more times, because each time we're just going to pick up like one or two things. I missed so much at the Nashville stuff because you're like, this is exciting. And you're like, and we love you and everybody else that spoke on it, but we were probably doing this while you were talking. As Becky was talking and she was like, I know everyone's ordering sleep. No one's even listening.
I know, Becky, you and I probably felt the same. We launched it and I looked up and everybody's head was like, and I'm like, all right, here we go. It's all good. Seriously, I really appreciate you guys having me on today. Andrea, it's always a pleasure. And again, if you guys need anything at all, don't hesitate to reach out to us. I know we've said this 100 times, but we're just scratching the surface with this app. We've got a lot of things planned for the roadmap of it. This is far from over, and we're really excited to continue to evolve this tool as your guys' go-to business building needs. So we appreciate you. We hope you all have a great rest of the week and finish the month strong.
Thank you so much, Blake. We appreciate it.
See ya.
Talk to you later. Okay, hi. We are going to get started on the Power Hour. So excited to have y'all.